Ceasefire conundrum. Iran says the Strait of Hormuz is closed, but President Trump says it isn't. The sticking point is Lebanon. Iran wants Israel out, but Israel refuses.
Yeah, let's talk about it with former ambassador of Israel to the United States and chairman of Silver Road Capital Group, Danny Ayalon. Great to have you, Ambassador. A lot to discuss, especially given the recent developments we've been seeing in the past 48 hours. Israelis learned a major lesson from October 7th that you cannot permit proxy groups on your border to have the capacity to attack. Hezbollah built up infrastructure in the south and conducted over 2,000 rocket and drone attacks into Israel, heavily shaping the conflict we're seeing right now. Ambassador, do you see Netanyahu pulling out his troops, even if Donald Trump wants him to?
Well, firstly, thank you, Chrissy and John. It's always good to be with you. And as you described quite accurately, with this very, very aggressive policy of Hezbollah, which is a proxy of Iran, Israel just cannot afford itself to unilaterally withdraw. We have no claims over any territory of Lebanon, but what we do ask is that the internationally recognized UN Security Council resolutions would be actually materialized, and that is dismantling the Hezbollah. Hezbollah took Lebanon as a hostage. They are operated, financed, motivated by Iran. And the fact that Iran has the temerity to link Lebanon to what's happening in Iran and the Straits of Hormuz shows you the conceit, the arrogance of the Iranians who believe that they won the war. So they also feel like they have the right to make dictates. Of course, we should not take it. I don't think the United States should allow them to do that, because that would be a deterioration of a security situation, U.S. Image, standing, and also,
sure.
Yes.
Ambassador, thanks so much. And Trump with some words for those in Lebanon. Trump posting on Truth Social, Iran must stop their proxies in Lebanon from causing trouble. Warning will hit them very hard if not. Could the fighting in Lebanon derail the U.S.-Iran peace talks set to take place or taking place in Switzerland?
Yes, well, Iran has here, I would say, a twofold mission. One is to humiliate the United States, and this is why they are making all these declarations that Hormuz is stopped, as if at will they can, push and stop the free passage in Hormuz. And secondly, try to drive a wedge between two friends and allies, Israel and the United States, so that in divide and conquer, they can continue with their expansion ambitions of hegemony in the Middle East. And here we need really a very astute and very forthcoming cooperation between Israel and the United States, understanding that our interests are the same, that our purpose is the same, to keep the Middle East safe, to keep the entire region and even beyond safe, and certainly not to have Iran a nuclear capabilities. We see what they do to the Hormuz without the nuclear capabilities. Just imagine, with the nuclear capability, they can close at will Hormuz or any other straits in the world. This cannot be. The mission in Iran is not complete yet. Of course, we congratulate President Trump, and we do hope that he will achieve a very good, tight, secured agreement with Iran, but it has to be very well observed, because the Iranians will not change. It's like a snake or a scorpion. They will not change their character, and they will keep cheating.
Right. Distrust, but verify. I think that's the stance where we are right now. President Trump, though, critical of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over Lebanon, condemning his tactics, saying he has, quote, no expletive judgment. Ambassador, what is on the line here if there's some additional friction, or if the friction between them escalates?
Well, I think this is not a good idea to have a friction between friends, although this is quite natural, and we understand that the scope of interest of the United States goes beyond the scope of Israel here. But still, I think with close cooperation and consultation, I believe that the appreciation and the respect that Netanyahu has for Trump will play here a role, and things can be explained in a very calm and coordinated way.
All right, Ambassador Danny Ayalon, great to have you this morning. Appreciate your insights. Thank you.